Subscribe to my channel.
To our lesson for today. Today particularly we are going to be looking at grade system. All right, our grade CSS grade system intro. All right, so this is the first time we will be going there into grade system. This is the first time, so there are other topics on the grade system that we'll be looking at, but for today we'll discuss this as our intro to grade system. So guys, before we go further ado, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please guys, subscribe. Okay, we realize that more people that visit the channel, they are not subscribing to the channel. All right guys, please subscribe, we beg of you, please. Now when we are discussing grade system in CSS is basically the way of the format in which people use to be able to give their website or application a better layout. All right, to give you a better layout. Now with grade system, enable developer to have a better layout in their work. Now if you look at our web page, you will find out that our web page have a header, it had a sidebar of both right and left, it have the main content body, and it also have a footer. All right, all of those sections that it is divided into, it is by the help of our grade system. So without further ado guys, let us put ourselves into today's tutorial quickly. In today's tutorial, our intro, we said we'll be looking at grade RID grade layout intro. All right, and then on this we want to have a paragraph here saying that a grade layout must have a parent element with the display property, with the display property set to grid. Now we say or inline grid. Now we'll save this quickly, and then we come down here. We want to have something showing the parent and of the child in our example. So we'll have a div here, and in the div we'll class this and saying this is a container, and after this we'll come here, and for here we'll just say a div1. We'll say this a div1. Okay, so we can copy this and put it all over and put it all the way to reach to something like 8 or so. So we'll have div1 here, we'll have div2, div3, div4, div5, 6, 7, 8. all right, and then come here, the next div, and the next div. Want to have 10 divs, 10 and 9. Good. So save this. All right, now let us understand something here. All right, they say that for here we have a direct child element of a grade container automatically become a grade item. Now for every child element that is found within a grade, all right, it particularly become our grade items. In further series we'll understand what is a grade item and we'll work with it. So guys, for this video, this is our entire HTML. We're not going to create any external style sheet, rather we'll work with internal style sheet here. So we'll come in the header section and put style, and in this style place here, now we're going to do all of our styling in here. So the first one we're going to start is our container. We're going to start our container. All right, so to start our container, we're going to make a property, display property saying grade. All right, we'll say display grade. But first, before doing this, I want to save this and look at it into the browser, please. Now let's save this and look at it into the browser. Now we'll give it a few seconds or minute to load. after you have load, and then we will see it into the browser. Now okay, it's taking its own time, all right, but eventually we'll get there. Now we have this here in our browser. We have browser layout intro, we have gray layout intro, and we have a gray layout must have a parent element with a display property set to gray or inline gray. All right, and we set in this area, we set our parent element and we set our gray items from 1 to 10. Okay, so I will push over to our code, and then for here we say we want to set display to gray. Now it is set to grid. All right, when we save this and then we pull back to our browser, we refresh it. Now you see nothing happening. All right, now we want to perform some other things that will help this entire process. Okay, so the next thing we want to do, we want to say grid dot template. We now want to say dot template column. All right, column. All right, and in the column we are going to say auto 3 times. All right, auto, 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 and save it. Now after saving this, we want to get something. We want to look into our browser and see what happens. Now if you see here, instead of just having this in our vertical form, rather we have it in 3 different gray column. We are having it in 3 different gray column. All right, so the next thing we're going to do here, for our work's sake, we're going to get back over to our code editor. Now the next thing we'll be doing, we'll leave this and want to give this identical container or background color. Want to give this container a background color. For the background color of this container, we will just use deep sky blue and save it. And then the next thing we want to do is we want to add padding to it. All right, for padding, we'll say the padding should just be 10 pixels and save it. Now after saving this, we'll come back and refresh this. Good. Now we are seeing what we have here for now. The next thing we want to do is that we want to work with our container and our the div. All right, now after doing the first one, we want to say dot container. Now the container began the parent element. All right, now the divs, now all of the divs that are in our parent element, we refer to these divs as the grid or container items or the gray items. All right, now we put them. So we say we want our background color to be white. Want our background color to be white. Okay, and after white, we want to add a border. Okay, our border should be something like 1 pixel, solid black. All right, yes. After that, we need our font size. All right, and we also need something else. All right, we need font size, so we'll use our font size to be 30 pixels, and we come here, we say text align. We want our text align. Text align should be center. Good, we save this. Now after saving this, we want to have it into our browser and see what changes it make. Now good, this is what we have here. All right, we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, now let's assume if we want to push our HTML work up to 12 different grids. All right, now we can come down here. Good, here will be 11 and here will be 12. Good, when we save this, we are going to have equal grade system. Good, now we have it like this. Okay, now this is just our intro showing us how HTML grid and CSS grid system work. So guys, thank you for sticking around. I think we have learned something a bit on just our intro on grid system. So I hope that you guys learned something, and please subscribe. See you.
Subscribe to my channel.